Hello everybody, Dark Phoenix Ninja 92 here, and welcome back to Let's Play The Witcher Enhanced Edition. Last time we left off, we did a bunch of side quests, and we're currently waiting for the blacksmith to repair this mirror that we need to deal with this Noonwraith problem we're having. So, we also need to help resolve the conflict between the Vodyanoi and the humans. But when we went to try and chat with the Vodyanoi leader, they were gone. And we have a bunch of other quests. We need to take a cat harness from this crypt, which we went there before, but it was so dark we needed a cat eye potion, which I've only just recently, as in the end of the last session, finished making. We also have some contracts that we need to take care of. We need to kill one more devourer, have a word with some people to try and find this special Witcher armor. We found out that Salamandra is after Alvin, which is disturbing and interesting at the same time. And we finally found Berengar, but after we chatted with him a little bit, he does not really feel like talking. But what we're gonna do right now is head out of this inn and into the town again, and I'm trying to use the wrong door. Well done, me. We're gonna head out of the inn and seek out this blacksmith. Maybe he'll have fixed the mirror by now. Who knows? And if not, we'll just head to that Grig crypt and take the cat harness. Let's see here. Track this on the map. And we'll go out that way. So and check the map again because I easily get lost. And we'll go this way since it's shorter. Now, that's to the lakeside, which we don't have any need to go there right now. And you'll probably notice a somewhat low frame rate right now, even when the game's not giving me random stutters. It's at like 14-15 FPS. You will probably notice that. Unfortunately, I'm still having my DX story issue. If you have any ideas to fix it, do let me know. I have an update video about that, so you can check its description for the details. Is my mirror ready, blacksmith man?
Is my mirror ready?
Like new. Now, 100 orens?
Here you go.
Here.
I'm tired.
Now we have to find the Noonwraith and try out this mirror. But I have one other thing to ask.
Yes?
Berengar mentioned you know the legend of Raven. Something about a suit of armor?
Berengar mentioned you know the legend of Raven.
I know nothing about the legend. I'm more interested in technology.
Well, that works
That
too.
armor was a breakthrough in armor design, made possible by advances in metallurgy and smelting.
Very interesting. About the armor.
I can tell you about its qualities.
Good, but remember I know little about metallurgy or smithery.
3 elements remain of Raven's armor: a spalder, a rear brace, and a gauntlet. The highest quality iron ores and state-of-the-art technologies were used in its making, not some useless Temerian smelting pots. The gnome surpasses technologically by an age. Beneath Mount Carbon, they have blast furnaces and quenching tanks. Equipment beyond our reach.
Can you tell me about the armor?
As you wish. The technologies I mentioned allow for the production of steel, both hard and flexible, essentially indestructible. As I said, only parts of the armor remain. To recreate the entire suit, you must find replacement material and someone to assemble the parts.
Any suggestions?
Search crypts where great knights were interred. I heard the counts of the Reuter dynasty wore similar armor. Pieces of that should be reforgeable.
Okay. You're rather versatile for a smith. I just have to bring this up.
You're rather versatile.
One has to survive, so I offer other services. Besides, I have an expensive hobby.
A hobby?
My kin and I yearned to build a flying machine. We built several already, but none worked. We had to cover the pilot's medical expenses.
I see.
Yes?
Okay, farewell.
Farewell.
And this thing with the armor is getting rather interesting. We have to find some different stuff so we can repair it, I guess. But now, let me see. The next thing I want to do is, yes, this Heat of the Day contract. Or quest, rather. Because that's not a Witcher contract, silly me. Because while we're doing that, we'll be close to this crypt, so I can take care of this other quest we have for the bridge builder to help deal with the Griggs. By getting this cat harness from there. And at the same time we can eliminate all of these noon wraiths that are hanging around. And as a bonus, get paid. I swear though, sometimes it seems like this game is fighting me. Like, I'm looking at DxTory's recording thing right now, and it's telling me that the game is playing at 30 frames per second. Yet, it's recording at like 15. That's ridiculous. And I would very much like that to no longer be the case. But I don't think I'm going to be that lucky for a while. But again, if anyone has any ideas as to how to fix that problem, let me know. I would very much like to get my frame rates back to acceptable levels again. Into the fields we go then.
I dreamt I was a witcher fighting this monster, and I wasn't afeared at all!
Only fools feel no fear.
Villagers say Berengar's afraid to kill some giant fish. Not you. I want to be a witcher.
Do you think it's fun?
Sure, one like you, not like Berengar. Witchers are so brave. They never grow ill.
Oh, this kid is so ignorant of so many things. Let's see, what do we say? Wouldn't you rather be a knight? No, doesn't sound like Geralt, honestly. So, we're not too fond of knights. After Siegfried was such an asshole to us earlier. Let's see. We never get... So we're going to be, I think, brutally honest here. Never get sick, but that costs us. And then there's pain. Would you like to hurt badly?
We never get sick, but that costs us. And then there's pain. Would you like to hurt badly?
No. Can't I become a witcher without that?
No.
I'm not sure then.
Okay, hopefully he changes his mind. I do not think Geralt wants Alvin to become a Witcher. But we're not going to directly just straight up tell him no. Because that probably wouldn't work out. But we're sort of going to reveal the negative sides of it. And let him make up his mind about the fact that this isn't what he really wants. That's the approach I'm going to try to take if the game lets me. Oh, it's that guy. Now we have to go up here and use this mirror. Hopefully it works out. Hello. I have a mirror to show you.
Follow the noon wraith. Come with me.
Alina, gaze in the mirror.
Alina?
Take a good look.
It's...
So romantic.
I am Alina. I must hurry. I am to marry soon.
Alina, you're dead.
Why do you say so? I feel wonderful. If a trifle cold.
Strange. It's hot as hell.
I must gather raspberries for my beloved.
Why did Alina's soul refuse to leave? I can sense her happiness now that she's thinking about her wedding. She doesn't know she's a ghost.
Maybe Nehelenia's mirror is not enough to break the curse.
I heard a story of a noon wraith who wouldn't wed a Nilfgaardian, but I don't remember how it ended.
A legend, you say? Maybe I should ask those who know folk wisdom. I promised Julian I'd free his beloved.
Geralt, do you love someone?
I don't know, honestly.
Me? I don't know.
That's sad. You should fall in love.
Oh, that was interesting. But now we have to look for another way to get this noon wraith taken care of. Because she does not seem to want to go to rest if we use the mirror. But she did become non-hostile. That's a step in the right direction, I suppose. Now, though, we have to visit this crypt and get this cat cradle from it, as bizarre treasure as that is for any creature. Yes, we have to retrieve a cat cradle. At least I think that's what it was. I could be remembering wrong. Well, we have to go and get that to be able to deal with these Griggs that are attacking the bridge. Nearby, but this will probably take a little bit. Just because navigating around here is kind of confusing. I hate how they set that up. It's really annoying. That circle does not have anything Geralt needs, so I will ignore it. Okay. Keep at it, keep at it. And here is our crypt. So once we get in here, can go after the thing we're seeking. And next, Geralt, you need to get your silver sword out. And we need to start wailing on this thing. Because it is a pain to fight. It's also a pain that it exists in here, despite being killed before. But I guess they breed pretty fast, or something. I don't know, I'm just speculating now. But we are doing some decent damage and not receiving much damage. So that's nice. But we need to level up soon. Let's see. Potion of Cat Eye is what we need. First, I'm going to quick save. Then I'll drink it. That grants us limited night vision in the area. Now move on to group attack, because there are multiples of you. And down they go. Nothing in there. Oh, great. Multiple of these things. Sorry for the pause. My dad needed me to tell someone something. Real life stuff, you understand, I'm sure. And now it's time to continue killing these guys. Fortunately, they're not too difficult, even if they do have rather a lot of health. And this is only an Al-Ghul, so not a real threat. I'll take that. And that. Let me... Oh, it's only an Al-Ghul again. How disappointing. Then again, it's also kind of nice because we don't have to go through some overly extended fight to be able to get through this tomb. And I can explore it all well and good. I don't know why I slowed down like that, but it didn't really matter. Who could say, really? And a flutter. How nice. Flutter and Gravier. The old creatures that I used to fight back in the last chapter. Nice reminder of the stuff that's no longer a problem for me. As we tear them to bits. I'm not even gonna bother to loot those guys. Another owl ghoul. Two owl ghouls, utterly useless against me. Now watch as Geralt tears them to bits. And I don't know what you are, but I'm going to fight and kill you, I think. Lets us get in a few free hits, so that's nice. And this is some sort of special creature, I think. Urias. I don't know what it is, but we are killing it, I think. Keep on wailing, Geralt. Keep on wailing. Sorry for the uninspired commentary during the fight, but fights in this game are not interesting enough to make commentary on. As strange as it is to be fighting some sort of fishman here, there's nothing really interesting about him. And the combat doesn't deserve commentary, seeing as it's just press the attack button in a specific pattern so you launch your attacks and prevent them from doing too much damage to you. That's basically the extent of combat in this game, which I don't mind it because the combat may be a little shallow, but it's interesting enough to make me not wish there was no combat. Let me put it that way. And ancient scimitar. That was a quest, apparently. It probably slaughtered many villagers. If we take the trophy to the chief, we may get a reward. Makes sense. There's some stuff. I don't know who that is, but well. And that area is quite nice. I'm glad we managed to clear out that and get rid of that monster. If nothing else, it'll give us a bit more gold. Oh, a ghoul. How adorable. Watch how quickly these ghouls die. It's amusing. But yeah, the fact that we managed to kill that creature, even when not expecting to find anything there other than your average monster, is quite fun. And yeah, that's one thing that I like about games like this, just the unexpected fights where you go into somewhere not expecting combat, you find combat, and you can walk out with loot, amongst other things. Things like that I really like doing. And we were even getting attacked from behind the whole time while that happened, and it didn't do any damage. These Alps are not much of a threat to Geralt at the moment, let's be honest. Unless, like happened when we fought them and that Spectre, they come in large numbers, and the terrain decides to fight us as well. That's the only time they've ever been a threat. Hopefully it remains that way. Not that I would be too upset if we ran across some kind of super Alps. That would at least make things more interesting. An Alghoul. How cute. It thinks it's a threat. Well, let's very quickly rid it of that foolish notion that it can actually be a threat to Geralt. And let's do a bit more exploring of the region, I think. Doesn't appear to be anything over here. So we can move on to exploring a different location. And an Al-Ghul. How about you die? Thank you. Gravier. Again, you are a non-threat to me. And another Al-Ghul, really? These guys seem determined to prove themselves an actual threat, despite the fact it only takes a few swings of my sword to tear them to bits. Alp. Now let's deal with you two. And this Gravier that thinks it's actually a threat. These imbeciles are not a threat, and it's time to show them that. I mean, they were a threat to Geralt at one point when he was lower level, not as skilled, and had worse equipment. But right now, the fact that they think they can actually threaten us is just adorable and funny more than anything else. It's not an actual problem that we're going up against them unless they have vastly superior numbers. And even then, it probably won't prove an issue unless the game bugs out on us or I do something stupid. Probably because I do something stupid. This game bugging out is not something that happens often, fortunately. In fact, the only real bugs I've ever encountered, I think, provided they're actually bugs, not me misinterpreting things, are when I got stuck on the terrain, couldn't move, and they could just wail on me. Because a lot of the way I fight involves a lot of strategic repositioning, so I move from place to place a lot, which, when I get stuck on terrain and can't do that, it kind of screws with my tactics in a fight. Which is a large reason why I die so often when things like that happen. Because it messes with how I'm used to fighting. And this Flutter may have a decent amount of health, or at least is taking quite a few hits to kill, but he is not an actual threat, as you will see from the minuscule amount of damage we've taken. And unfortunately, I do still hit the attack button too fast, which means that it breaks my combo. But down this one goes. Nothing in that place. Oh. An Al-Ghul. Once again, this amuses me. You're dead. Moving on. Circle of the Barren Lands. What will this do, I wonder? Quensign intensity. I don't actually remember what that does, but I'm sure it's useful in some way. Still,